Hey guys, this is the Gear Guy with Livelonggear. So I promised you that I would show you Coghlan's waterproof fire sticks and their ability to light or not to light when they're wet. So today I'm gonna show you whether or not they light. We're gonna test a couple of different things. We're gonna flake them. We're gonna light the entire chunks. We're gonna see if they still light from sparks, and we're gonna see if they light easily from matches. So here's your fire sticks. I'm going to use just a half of a one that I already have pre-cut here. It's not a voodoo trick. This is the same thing in the bag. So I've got a little piece of plastic here. It'll hold my water and a bottle of water. This is not vodka or something flammable. So this is the idea behind this test for me is to kind of simulate, okay, you know, maybe I'm crossing a creek or something, and I fall in, or it drops out of my pocket and I go down and I grab them or something. So that's the point of simulating this. These are feel pretty porous. Like I say, this one's cut, so it doesn't appear to have any more open. This is the end it's cut on, and it actually looks a little more solid and smooth, a little less frayed than on the opposite side. This is what it came out of in the bag. This is not the cut side. So I don't think cutting it does anything to make it absorb more or less water. So here we go. Drop it in the water. It seems to float pretty well, so I'm gonna see if I can't make it sink. Pushing it down, pushing it down. It's pretty resilient. Seems to be taking on a little water though. It's kind of hard to show it to you, but alright, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hold it submerged, and I'm gonna actually rub against it a little bit just to see if we can speed the process a little bit. See how much water it absorbs and how much it will, whether or not it will still fire or turn to fire. So there you go. It's pretty wet. So all I'm going to do is tap it off. You know, see if we can't get rid of some of that. I'm going to set this water aside here very carefully. All right, there we go. Well, alright, didn't make a mess, that's good. So I'm going to also pretend that we have some sort of cloth. So I'm going to go ahead and wipe it off, you know, on the shirt. See, hardly any water's coming off at all, but I'm going to leave this other piece, this partially burnt piece, I'm going to leave this in the water, and at the end of the video I'll pull that back up and we'll try that. So there it is, it's in the water, it's submerged. So, it's damp. I would say it's not soaked. It does not seem, I probably sped the process up quite a bit by pushing the water onto it. Let's see if it lights with a match. Got to be able to light the match. Alright, there we have it. Seems to be more resistant, which is, you know, that's kind of expected. It was, after all, just in the water. So it seems to be considerably more resistant to flame. There, it kind of seems to be taken off. So the good news is that it is lightable. It did seem to not be able to light until the water was obviously completely off. It's not totally unexpected. There are products out there that can be lit with water on them, or it can be lit inside water, which is a very unique feature. You know, has its place in gear, definitely. So I can hear it hissing. I don't know if the camera's catching that, as it gets rid of some of the water. So I'm going to put this out. Beware strong wind. Now we're going to scrape it. So I'm going to scrape it from the other side where the moisture is a little bit. Let's see if we can't get some of this wet material. Again, if you really needed it right then and now, it did not soak through. The water did not soak through down to the second layer that I just scraped off. It is bone dry. You can kind of tell from the coloration as well. I think if this sat in water for a long time, I think that it would probably saturate quite a bit. I'm going to try and test that and see, just to see how well it does. So I can't spark the whole bar, because the whole bar doesn't really light with just sparks very easily. I'm sure it's possible, but it's really easy stuff to scrape. You could even, if you really needed to, you could even scrape it with your fingernail. You could scrape off chunks of it. See? So you don't have to have a knife to do this. It just, for me, it makes it a little easier, a little faster right now, and I do have a knife. So I'm going to say that's enough chunks. I'm trying to get all the moist chunks off. I'm going to see if the moist chunks are easy to light or not, to see, partially to see if it's just exterior saturation for the water, or to see if the water actually soaked all the way through. So we got a rather large pile of this stuff. We're going to take a match and try this again. I'm actually going to separate a little bit of this pile so we can try it with the sparks. Okay, here we go. Well, it appears to be lighting fairly quickly. Now remember, this is the semi-moist exterior shell pieces that I scraped off. This is not the interior. Seems to be burning for quite some time. I mean, it's going strong. Alrighty, now let's take. We're going to take this other pile here. Well, that one's burning. We're going to just leave that alone. This is a very small, relatively small pile. We're going to scrape off some sparks and see if we can't get this to light. Oh, there we go. There you have it. And it's all good now. So it's all burning together. This, if you look inside of it, I mean, obviously you can't from your point of view, but I try and show you here. This is just a little fragment of it, but it's still burning. There's still lots left to burn relative to the amount of material I actually put in there. They're very lightweight sticks. I like them a lot so far. Highly recommend them. They are definitely water resistant. I would not say they're waterproof. Pretty much waterproof, about as waterproof as you're going to get next to a lighter, which, again, could be argued that it's not fully waterproof. So there you have it. Good stuff. I recommend it. And I'm gonna pull this other piece out now that I've left soaking during the time of this video and see how much water it retained. Okay, this is without pushing it in the water. You can see there's a lot of moisture buildup there, so see if it can't just be tapped off. Maybe wiped off on my clothes a little bit. And if you look at it, it's fairly dry. On this end, there's just a little bit of moisture, in the center there, the darker. So it's pretty resilient stuff. I mean, it definitely repulses the water fairly well. So if you really wanted to, I'm sure, by the way, it comes in a plastic bag. And there's nothing like water resilience when you have a plastic bag. Now, long term, storing this stuff in a pool of water, don't think that's a good idea. But I wouldn't do that with anything that I'm going to make fire with. It's just a good personal rule I found. So there you have it, guys. Those are the Coghlan's fire sticks, waterproof fire sticks. They are, in fact, pretty waterproof, I would say, and they definitely have earned their place in my pack. Thanks, guys. Subscribe, like me, leave comments if you want to see other stuff with these or any of the other things I have. Check out some of the other fire starting videos I have. They're all over my channel. And thanks for watching, guys.